Hey there everyone, this is Leo from TechLion PCs, and in a previous video, we went through several NVIDIA Quadro cards that were released an eon ago in computer years. And out of the three that I had played around with using some games that were released around the time that they were all released, only one of them actually gave absolute top tier performance. But I did want to take it just one step further and see how well can a card from 2012 that cost $2,500 run games of today. So what we're going to be doing is taking this Quadro K5000 card and kind of see what it can do with games at 2023. But before we do that, this video is brought to you by us over at TechLionPCs.com, where you can check out our store for custom mid-range builds along with our consolation page where you can fill in whether you'd like an upgrade, a new build, a pre-built PC, along with a budget, and we'll work with you on the PC of your choice. Check us out again over at TechLionPCs.com. Now for a recap, if you haven't watched the previous video, which I would recommend, it was pretty fun to do, the NVIDIA Quadro K5000 that we're using here was released back in August of 2012. It's sporting a total of 4GB of GDDR6 video memory running at 256-bit, and it's rocking a packed 1,536 cores. The GPU itself is clocked in at 706 MHz, while the RAM is clocked in at 1,350. We've already seen the K5000 kick absolute ass at 1080p at every game that we threw at it from the 2012 era that it came out in. Games like Counter-Strike Go, which we're still playing to this day, the original Dark Souls, and Dishonored. But what I want to see is how do these modern versions of these same titles rock with this graphics card. So in the gauntlet that I'm going to be running through today, I'll be pairing it with my 5800X3D, a processor I'm sure is going to completely bottleneck the GPU itself, along with some titles from the current year. For example, as opposed to running it in Dark Souls, we're going to be running it in Elden Ring. As opposed to Borderlands 2 that we ran it in beforehand, we're going to run it through Tiny Tina's Wonderland. As opposed to Dishonored, a brand new game that just came out this week, Redfall. And since Counter-Strike 2 isn't released yet, not until this summer most likely, we'll just throw in some Apex Legends or Fortnite in there instead. Okay, so right out of the gate, I'm trying to get Elden Ring to run on this thing, and this is kind of all that ends up happening with Elden Ring. It fires up, goes to this blank white screen, and then nothing happens. It either crashes directly to desktop or comes up with the game couldn't, there it is, the game's not responding, so it just ends up closing. So I guess the first thing I'm going to do is completely just blow out all my drivers all over again and then re-download and reinstall them from scratch, because I did this before I started recording, but it didn't seem like it's working. Or maybe Elden Ring needs a patch or something, or maybe it's not compatible. But yep, there it goes, crash the desktop. So let me try to reinstall my drivers first again and then see kind of what happens from there. After the restart, this didn't install. Okay, let's gotta bring out the big guns and really clean out all the drivers and try it again. Third time's a charm. Let's try it again. Okay, we're now 4 restarts in, a couple of black screens, and now going through our third driver reinstall to see if it actually finishes this time around. So keeping my fingers crossed to see what happens at this point, but I'm a little concerned as to why I'm not getting this to work. So completely fresh, display driver uninstaller already ran, and now we're just going through the Quadro drivers, and maybe this time it'll function. So after running display driver uninstaller a couple of times, well, just once that is, this is the only video now that I seem to get when I boot up my computer. So not really sure what's happening there now. So I'm going to try giving it another couple of restarts, or I don't know, maybe go back to my, my other graphics card and just see if it boots the Windows at this point, because I'm a little bit concerned. And would you look at that? After the third time, we finally got the drivers to install properly. So now let's just go ahead and finally restart and try running Elden Ring and see if it launches without crashing. Let's go for it. Don't tell me it's still not working. This is quite an issue that I'm having here. I'm surprised. Maybe it's just Elden Ring. I'm kind of curious to see if anything else is going to have this problem. And it looks like the saga continues as I try to launch Tiny Tina's Wonderland, and I'm getting fatal Unreal Engine 4 errors while I'm trying to launch this game. Unhandled exceptions. I've now tried to run this 3 or 4 times now, and I'm getting the same problem. I'm sure I can Google what this unhandled exception is and just fix it through a lot of troubleshooting. But we're now 2 for 2 in games that just will not launch now with this Quadro K5000, and that's kind of adding to the to the concern that this might not work out for modern games. So I'm just gonna jump into a third game. I'm just gonna run Fortnite. You know what? I'm certain. I am certain that a game like Fortnite should be able to launch on this. Let's just give that a shot. There we go. What did I tell you? This game can run on a potato iGPU. So let's just go ahead and, you know what? I'm gonna tell it to just do auto. Let's see what it detects here. And it autoed at medium. So you know what? I'm just gonna leave it there and just kind of see what happens. Funny enough, I did want to see if I can run this in the DX12 mode, but it doesn't appear to even have compatibility for that. I can either run it on performance, which again, anything can run performance, or I can run it on DX11. So we're just gonna run on the DX11 at medium and just kind of see what happens from there. All right, we're actually in Fortnite, finally playing the game, and low 50s, mid 30s, you know, and all that. Also thinking about it now, since I can't even run Fortnite on DX12, I believe that Elden Ring and Tiny Tina's Wonderland both require DX12 compatible graphics cards in order to actually run. So that would essentially make trying to run modern games on this card kind of pointless, because they just won't launch if that's the case. But we'll see after I play a little bit of a round here and just kind of see what happens from there. All right, now we're doing some more esports titles over here with Overwatch, and at the defaulted medium settings 1080p, it's kind of hovering anywhere between mid 80s to mid 90s FPS, a completely playable experience with this as well, which again, I'd hope so if you're running a $2,500 graphics card, but yeah, looks like it's actually working. I think this thing is just going to beast any esports title that's out there, but it's kind of like the whole point of esports titles, like they're meant to be ran on essentially everything. So yeah, this game seems to be actually rocking it. Again, it's another DX11 title. I'm pretty sure if I try to run anything else that was DX12, it just wouldn't work. Well, womp womp. Attempted to run Redfall also gave me similar errors. Yeah, this game requires DX12. So, I guess in the whole can you do modern gaming on a Quadro K5000? Really, the answer is already no. As you can see that a lot of modern games that are coming out require DX12 in your graphics card just to even run. Man, I gotta say, even trying to run Resident Evil 4 over here is also causing a crash. I have never seen so many games just fail to launch. Which is funny because in the last video, everything ran great, you know, from the era that it came out. But man, trying to run anything that's, you know, 11 years after the graphics card came out isn't happening. All I'm getting are just a bunch of crashes and just unlaunches. So, yeah, this is an experience to say the least. But yeah, I think with that, I'm just going to have to call it there, to be honest, because clearly I'm not going to find much that'll even open, that's even of high fidelity kind of quality, that'll actually even run on this card due to just how old its API is. So from there, I'm Leo, once again, from TechLionPCs.com. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and if you have any suggestions for any other videos and things I should look into, please go ahead and comment it down below, and I'll catch you in the next one.